hey, I have a problem at my house. The shower isn't working appropriately. So what's going on is you turn the lever, it should go from cold to warm to hot. Well, you turn that lever 3/4 of the way over, it's still freezing cold. Then you have to inch the lever back to try and get it warm. Sometimes you go so far over to get it warm, the water's almost off. You can't even rinse the soap and shampoo out of your hair. So it's a problem. Well, what it is, it's the Moen cartridge inside there. So what we're going to do today is change that Moen cartridge. I know there's a lot of videos that talk about changing that cartridge that are put out by plumbers and put out by Moen. That's great, but that's not what we are. I'm not a plumber. You're not a plumber. That's what I've made this for. I want to show you that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to show you that you can do it. So the first thing we're going to need is the right tools. So I've got a screwdriver with a Phillips head on there. You really want a channel lock. I couldn't find my channel lock, so this is a vice grip. It will work, but realistically, the right thing would be channel lock pliers. We're going to need some Allen wrenches. That's to take the handle off. We're going to need a needle nose pliers. That's to get the retaining clip out. And then you don't have to have this, but this makes the job a lot easier. This is the removal, the puller, the cartridge puller. Moen makes one. I think they want $90 for it. I went to Lowe's. This is exactly the same thing. I paid 15 bucks. I'll put the link down below. This works exactly the same as the Moen one, which would take, I don't know, a week to get in, and it's 90 bucks. I ran up to Lowe's. I got this for 15. So let's head into the bathroom. I'm going to show you what's going on and how we're going to fix it. So this is where the problem is. This is the faucet with the Moen cartridge in there that isn't working appropriately. So typically what I would do is turn this till it's about in this direction, and the water would be a really good mix of warm and cold. It'd be perfect. Instead, we're going to turn this on. We've waited a couple of minutes now where the water would normally have worked out. It's warm by now. It's still freezing cold. I can turn it all the way over here. I keep turning. It just it's just cold. There's nothing that I can do to try and make it warm. So the only thing that we found to try and get the water warm again, where we can actually shower, is to turn the handle back this way. And then you sample the water temperature. Nope, not warm yet. Turn it a little bit more, sample the water temperature. Nope, not warm yet. We're so far down here, there's almost no water coming out. Now, I've finally gotten to where the water is warm. As you can see, the water flow is maybe 20% of where it should be. It's barely trickling out. If I got shampoo in my hair, how am I getting this out? This is broken. This needs to be replaced. You'll notice I put a towel down. The purpose of this towel is to cover the drain, so if I drop any screws or Allen pins or anything, they're not going to go down that drain. That's an important step not to forget. So one of the things we're going to want to do before we get this project going is we got to go downstairs, turn off the main water supply to the house. Otherwise, when we pull that cartridge out, it's big problems. So we're going to go down in the basement and shut that off first, then we'll get this project rolling. So we found the main water shut off in the basement. Let's go ahead and take care of that. The water should now be shut off. We'll go upstairs and release the pressure first. Okay, so we got the water drained out. That took a little while, but it's done. So let's turn this way. We're going to use the hex key to remove the hex nut here. Okay, we got the hex nut out. This comes off. I'm going to go set this aside. I'll be right back. Okay, the next project is we need to remove this black cap here. There's a Phillips screw head right in the center, and we're going to use this to remove that. That's why we have the towel down there. This comes off. Let's go set this aside. The next thing we need to do is take this faceplate off, so we're going to use our screwdriver for that. All right. I'm going to take off this white piece. I'm going to take off the silver collar here. There we go. These two go together. I'm going to set this aside. Now we're going to finish taking these out. Take the plate off. I'm going to set this aside. The next thing we have to do is remove the retaining pin, and we use our needle nose pliers for that. Just pull this up and out. I'm going to set this aside. This is where the core puller or the cartridge remover comes in. Again, this was not the Moen one. They wanted, I think, close to $90 for the Moen one. I got this at Lowe's for like 15. So what you do with this is there's a screw here. And on the inside, that right there is going to go inside the cartridge to help pull it out. These little pieces, flanges here, go on here to make sure nothing else happens. So our first step is to remove the screw partially. Okay, we have this back just about all the way out. We're going to place this on the end of the cartridge and then put the screw in there so it attaches to the cartridge. Okay, now that that's attached, what we do is turn this, and by turning this, we pull the cartridge out. This is where we use the channel lock pliers. I know these aren't channel lock pliers, they're vice grips, but in this case they'll work. You pull it right out. It's done. This is the cartridge. This is the piece that was not working before. Okay, so before we put this cartridge back in, we need to put a little bit of lubricant on there. So we're gonna take that off. I'm gonna smear just a little bit of lubricant on both sides. All right, we're gonna get the other one. No reason to be stingy on here. I'm going to use everything they gave me. Let's put a little bit more over here. Okay, there we go. Now when we put this back, we want to make sure the HC is in the up direction. So we just put it in there, push it in. We're good to go. Now we start reassembling. The first step is to put that retaining clip back in. You want to be really careful with this step. You don't want to drop that retaining clip down there or you're just out of luck. So we're going to be real careful here. There we go. Got that retaining clip back in. Fantastic. Let's start putting the parts back on. So our first step in reassembly is putting this faceplate back on. So let's go ahead and do that. Get this other one in there. Get our faceplate back on. I left this just a little loose so there's some wiggle room when I put the sleeve back in there. And put that in. And we put this in. So we've got the screw back in the black piece and we're going to put this on there. Okay, the black piece is secured. Now we want to get this faceplate finalized, so we're going to tighten that up. All right, that's good. So the last part of this project is to reinstall the handle. So we use this Allen screw. It goes through here, and it's going to go inside the top opening there in the black part. So let's get that in there. Line that up. We're done. We're going to turn the water back on and we'll see what's going on. So things should work appropriately. We're going to turn the handle and see what happens. Water's coming out. We're in business. It's fixed. Yes. So another DIY project completed. This was a Moen cartridge 122. My hot water wasn't working appropriately. As you could see from this video, it's not something difficult. If I can do it, I know you can do it. You don't need the plumber for this one. Moen is a lifelong guarantee. You call them, they're going to send you the cartridge. It doesn't cost a thing. That cartridge puller from Lowe's was 15 bucks. The link is down below. If you like this video, if you find it helpful, if you'd like to see more of these, please subscribe to my channel. We'll be putting out more as other things around my house go wrong.